it's Nikki, and I'd like to show you today's meet. So today's meet is a back channel, or essentially a chat room that really helps to encourage discussion in your classroom. It can empower those shy students and really get students talking and generating ideas without everyone shouting out and disrupting. It's also a great tool for immediate feedback and really encourages participation from everyone. So what today's meet allows you to do is set up a chat room. So when you go to TodaysMeet.com, you can just name your room, and you'll see down here your URL begins to form. So today's meet, we're going to call this test, and you can see the X means that's not available, so I'm just going to add a 1 to it. So test 1, and then here, delete the room. So this allows you to set the parameters of how long you would like your room to be active. If you're doing something that you only want the students to be able to access for a couple of hours, you may choose a smaller setting. Or if it's something you're going to come back to over and over again, you can leave it up for a longer amount of time. Since I'm just going to use this one as a test, I'm going to leave it as 2 hours. So this Web 2.0 tool is free. One thing I love about it is that it doesn't require a password or login. All as you do is go to TodaysMeet.com, and this is how simple the setup is. So here I'm going to press Create Room, and this is what will appear if your students go to TodaysMeet.com. They do have to add that backslash and whatever you named your room. So you can have the students access today's meet on the computers, on the iPods, on the iPads. So I'm just going to show you over here, TodaysMeet.com/test1 will bring me to this website. So all the students have to do is type their name. So I'm going to type my name and press join. They don't need to remember a password. As long as they get to that URL, they are all set. So the students have 140 characters to be able to type. So they have to be kind of conscious and summarize what they're saying, which is a great skill for them to have anyways. So I'm just going to type to show you what it looks like. Welcome to today's meet. We are learning how to use this tool. Do you have any? Okay, and I'm just going to press say, and it's going to pop up over here. So as the messages are being sent, it does update in real time to all of the students' devices. So you'll see over here on that other tab, it's updated what I've said. So the next person might comment, I can chat back with them, I can ask questions. It's a great way to generate discussion. It gives immediate feedback. There are less interruptions in your class when everyone is kind of talking, and it really empowers some of those shyer students to speak out, and you're able to hear everyone's voice. It's a great participation because everyone is kind of encouraged through the use of their device to share their opinions and ideas or answer questions. So I want to show you a couple more things about it. So here, transcript, this is great because it allows for easy printing. If you wanted to save this or use it for a grade or save it for documentation, it gives you what they actually typed and then a timestamp and who it was written by. The other option is to do it in projector format, which looks very similar. The only difference is that this will allow for that real-time update of any new information. So if I'm over here and I'm going to say this is Mrs. Jones, I'm going to join this discussion and I'm going to say I could use today's meet. Okay. When I pop back over here, should be automatically updating. It might take a second to kick in, but there we go. So you see that it's popped up already. I want to show you an example that we already had from actually the beginning of the year that Megan and myself used with the new teachers at Porter. So it was our TodaysMeet.com/Porter mentees, And this is kind of how we started one of our first discussions, as well as an introduction to this Web 2.0 tool. So we wanted people to begin sharing about what they learned at Connect, and then we also used it to ask them a couple of questions that's questions that they had for us. We allowed them to post on here. So as you can see, you can also share links in the Today's Meet. So if there was something you wanted students to watch or view to be able to discuss, you could put a link to YouTube if you were using it with students on the computer, or a Brain Pop Junior video, or an article for them to read, a picture for them to view, primary sources, anything like that. So here we go. So there, they actually had a couple of prompts, which I'm having a hard time remembering right now, but it was a 3, 2, 1. So it was 3 things they learned at Connect, I think, 2 things that they wanted to explore more, and then 1 question that they had for us. So this is a great 3, 2, 1 activity, or a parking lot for questions that you could use in your classroom. Hop back over here. And that's pretty much it for today's meet. The one thing that is really great about it is that it's easy to use. It allows students to really practice those listening, reading, and writing skills. So it gives them some experience with multitasking, and it also gives them that practice with keyboarding and the grammar, proper punctuation, capitalization, if that's what you are encouraging for grades. The important thing, I think, at the beginning of the year is when you're setting up the expectations for use with this, is to go over with the students. We use proper grammar when we use Today's Meet. We don't use text language, or if that's something that you're going to allow at certain times, go over with them. The expectation is that you put in your correct name and you say things that are appropriate for school. So just encouraging all of those things and setting it up for success, rather than having to go back and revisit some of those things. Maybe let the students come up with ideas for rules when using Today's Meet. So I think it's a really great Web 2.0 tool. Since it is free and there is an account, there isn't a way to delete what the students do say. So I think it's important at the beginning to set it up so they know, everything that you put on the internet can be seen and can be found, and we want you to be safe. Talk about not giving out personal information, even though it's just viewed by you. There is the possibility that someone else can be typing around and get to it. So you can link these to your Fusion page. You could do these with parents. There are tons and tons and tons of ideas for using it in your classroom, and I can't wait to see how you use it this year, and I would love for you to share your ideas. So if you have any other questions, please post them in the discussion, and I would be happy to get back to those for you. So thanks for listening, and I hope you really enjoy using Today's Meet.